Hello and welcome back. You might have seen not too many new videos from me because I took a little break and a little holiday, and I will do later an on tour, and that will start next weekend. But there is a lot other things coming. I have here two HP system multimeters, so we will play with these when I come back. And meanwhile, also receive in the mail. I don't know if you remember, it was a video from, well, it's a few months ago, and it was about an oscilloscope from the USSR. It was the C1118, and the person I bought it from was in the Dutch eBay Marktplaats, and they sent me in the mail, so thank you very much. They say, "Dear Tony, we found the original manuals and schematics. We thought you might like it, Alice and Andre, I think. So, but I don't have their email address, but thank you. This is super cool because it is very rare, and I will scan it later because there was nothing on the internet, and now I have the originals. It is in French, but that is perfect. The schematics are good, so many people will be happy after I scan this. And I got a little bit crazy on the handheld digital multimeters also. I found a few weird ones. Quick show. This one, super weird, very little buttons, never seen one before. Another old analog, but it has little push buttons, never saw before. Will be fun. Also, I received for my Tektronix oscilloscope. This oscilloscope right here, it is the TDS744A, and when I tried to do an firmware update, it went completely wrong. Also, I put in the wrong firmware, but that should not be a problem because you can just override the good one. But the Dallas chips just died. This battery can die, and sometimes the memory just gets old. I have replacement for that from Texas. It is not the original Dallas chip, but this is from a guy. He is also on the EEV block, and he made real chips. So that will be cool to try also when I come back. Also, I have a new EEPROM programmer. That is the GQ 4x4. Very popular. Just want to see also for the higher voltages to program. So we're gonna play with that. Also, I was sent by Kenwood a spot welder. So that is quite cool. We're gonna play with that too another time. But today, because I'm going on tour, I wanted to play again with my APRS. That is automatic packet reporting system. And it is all built into my little Kenwood here. This is the Kenwood TH-D72. And it has a TNC inside, so it can talk packet radio. It even has a GPS receiver inside, so this is all in one. I was just playing with it, and somehow my message was not relayed, so it could be that the reception is not that good, so I need to use my external antenna, as I will do in my car. But it could also be it needs to be updated, and so I was just checking. I get my invoice, and I bought it in March 2012, so that is a little bit more than 10 years ago. So I was looking in the Kenwood website, and they still have all the updates available. So that is what I like to do today, just to be sure that I still speak the right language after 10 years. I will do all my updates, and yeah, I walk you through the whole process. Well, it is actually a pretty cool radio by itself, even without the APRS. It is a dual band. It has even quite some power, but here it is. It has built-in GPS, built-in APRS, built-in packet modem, AX25. It can do digipeater, it can do a lot of things. And you can update it with the computer, and here it is super small. You can even program your call sign, so I did. And yeah, here it is, dual bonder. You could see the TNC initializing itself, and here in the top the internal GPS is switched on. You could see it transmitting. It is doing its beacon. The data is now on 144.800, which is in Europe the APRS frequency. So before I'm going to use it, and I did try already a little bit, but I'm just not sure if the protocol has maybe some important updates that I'm not aware of, because my firmware is by now 10 years old. And Kenwood is very good because it still has all the updates available even for Windows 10. So in that sense, this radio is not old at all, and it still looks kind of modern, and well, actually very modern. So let's see, we should have the USB cable available. I'm not sure if it is a special cable or it is, but I will just take the cable that came with it just to be sure. Here is the software that, well, that's probably very old, so we have it from the internet already. I have some more Kenwood things. Still everything is in the box. I even have an external microphone from Maas, I see. 12 volts for the car, because I did use it before in the car. And I have the original Kenwood USB cable, so that feels good. Okay, well, if we're doing a firmware, I prefer to keep the power plugged in. I will read better if that is advised or not. We have here here we have the COM. Probably if you want to use the TNC. Here is the USB. Well, it looks like a normal USB old version, but I prefer to use the original cable, so let's do that. Probably it needs to be switched on or not. We also need to read, do everything in the right order, and then it should be working fine. So I found this document at the Kenwood website. I will leave the links below, and as you can see here, it has had many updates until a few years ago, but since I bought it in 2012, I might be somewhere on this version here, but in the end it doesn't matter too much because they have an all-in-one. So, and it says here the latest version includes all previous versions, so that is great. We don't need to do it in different steps, we can just do immediately the last one. So we download this one, and then they mention something else. You need the virtual COM port driver. Well, I have that driver also, and I saw also they mention you can save your memories. I'm not sure if I have memories. I don't think I did, or I don't remember. So you can store also, yeah, maybe it's settings also, I'm not sure, so I will do that also. So I will leave that link. Here is that link of that program again, the memory control, and they also talk about the virtual COM port driver that is here. And they say, attention, attention, don't connect to the PC before the virtual COM port driver. So our start will be to first install that driver. Here they explain a little bit, if you have another model like the TS-890S, then you will end up with 2 COM ports instead of 1. Well, we don't need to care about that too much because we don't have that model, so it will only create 1, and then we need to look at what COM port number it is. And there are 2 drivers for Windows 8.1. Well, I don't think people have that, because you will probably have been upgrading to Windows 10, because that was kind of a wonky version. And there is a version for Windows 10, even for 64 bits, I think. It's set in the top. Or the 64. So this package has both drivers. Okay, perfect. Let's start. Okay, I downloaded all the programs. Downloaded the driver right here for Windows 10 and for Windows 8.1. I have here the memory to store my memory, and I have here the all-in-one firmware. So we start with the driver. Windows 10. I will unzip that. Extract. Okay, I think it did that. Here we have different drivers. I want 64 bits. And how I install this. There is no executable. So we can right click and then it should say install, install. Okay, good. Let's switch on the radio. It is plugged in the USB. Let me get the device manager just so we can see what it is actually installing. So it should create a port right here. So I will just plug. Yes, here it is, COM15. That is a high number. I hope that is not a problem, but this went all very smooth. So that is good. Let me get the volume down. Let's try the memory program and to see if we can read. Extract. Okay, also done. So we have to set the program. Yes, why not? Successfully installed. Where will we find it? Is it called Kenwood? Yes, Kenwood. Okay, that seems to do something. 15. Oh, cool. You can select very high numbers. 15 it was, right? Yeah, 15. Okay, 15. Okay. Okay, so first we do to read, I think. Read from the transceiver. That seems smart to do first. Read. Okay. It does not want to do it. Ah, here it is. And in the display you can see it says proc MCP MCP. Okay, reading complete. Okay. It has one frequency only. That can I find maybe a little bit about my transceiver, because what firmware version I have. I was somehow unable to detect that. So model, transceiver information. Okay, so I have already 105 and the TNC is version 1. So that is kind of old. The TNC is the, I think, terminal node controller. It's a smart packet modem. Okay, well, let me just store this. Save. Yeah, prima. Just say default. The firmware was 105, I think. Was it? Yeah, 105. Okay, good. Close. So we save the memory. Then we go to the firmware itself. All in one. Okay. Extract. I think it did that. Yes, it did. So this is already 110. Okay. HTML. Okay, it's just a disclaimer. The executable is this one. COM15. Okay, let's just try. Hope the radio does not. Okay, wait. Turn the transceiver off. Press and hold. Push to talk and mark. Turn the transceiver on. Come from the. Okay. Good. Let's try that. Switch it off. Push to talk and the one or mark button. And switch it on. No, I need to long push probably. PTT mark. Yeah, now it says prog. I will just leave it in prog mode and press OK. From 105 to 10. So that was needed. Okay, here we go. Hope there is no power outage or something else, because stopping these things halfway is never good. I will do a fast forward. Okay, that seems to have worked. I'm not sure what I need to do. Okay, turn off, press and hold the F key, power on. Okay, full reset. Okay, switch it off. Okay, remove the USB. Okay, press and hold the F key, reset. I need to go down to full reset and then press OK. Resetting. It says resetting. It is still resetting. Yes, it says hello, and my call sign is removed. Oh, this was really a full reset. Now I need to see how I put all my APRS stuff in there again. But maybe I can restore it with this memory thing. So exit here. Put back the port. Now I'm going to start that memory program. Kenwood. Yes. Okay. Let me see. Transceiver information. Yeah, 110. The TNC is not updated, but maybe there was no update for it. Okay, so if I now read my default and I program this back right to the transceiver. Yeah, my call sign is back there and it says beacon and iGPS. Cool, so that worked. This is really the first time I'm doing this, but it's, yeah, it seems kind of logical what you need to do. Okay, well, that were quite straightforward. I did find another video, and I will link also to that. I think it was from, if I remember correct, from W6GPS. Nice name. He made a manual how to set up optimal settings to get it for APRS. So I put that automatic power off is switched off there. Some battery savings for the GPS is switched off. Just great. He goes through it step by step, and it's very easy to follow. So I will link to that also. And yeah, it works. I do not see myself on the map yet, but yeah, I probably need to put my antenna outside. I don't see stations close by. So yeah, I think I tried that, because at some point I should see myself. So that's it. Program the portable radio, check all the settings for the GPRS. I could not do a practice test because I don't have a station close by, so I cannot see myself on the screen. Maybe later I drive around with the magnetic on my car, and I will have a much better reception. But I think we did what we could do, and it has been working with all these settings, and they were still good. So I'm positive. So I think I'm set for my trip to France, and I will make a video of that too. Thank you for watching, and hope to see you next time. So, and what is this APRS? Well, as I said, it's Automatic Packet Reporting System. What can you do with it? Well, some are fixed stations, and it can be weather stations. It can also be just a mobile ham, like I am. I will use it in my car, and then every 5 or 10 minutes it will send my position and my call sign. And there are also bigger stations that will then relay my message until it comes in the network. And when it comes in the network, you can display your call sign. So here is someone is driving. This is the PD2BR, and I have a tail track now for 1 hour. So he moved from this location to this location, and you can filter on call sign. And yeah, it doesn't seem very useful right now, but I think you can compare it more with what boats use in the IAS. Like here, I think this is an IAS station, which is only showed up the map. He cannot see our location, but we can see theirs. And maybe we can just filter on this one, just to see. I hope the person doesn't mind. Well, it is sending it on the web, so yeah, this one, it's a truck, and all the rest is now removed, and then we can see, okay, it moved from here to there. So this way, when I drive from the Netherlands to France, where my dad is at the moment, he can follow exactly where I am. And instead of using a ham radio, it is using Android, I see here. So you don't need to use your portable radio, but of course that is the fun.